What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burrow77 here with Leg and Nick Dianni. We're going to talk Sporting versus Dortmund here for the UCL on Tuesday afternoon. Dortmund is just royally fucking me right now. I cannot figure this team out. They look terrible in the Bundesliga. They look okay in Champions League, but then Leg and I went back and kind of really looked at their schedule, and they really haven't played anybody. I guess a 3-0 win at Bruges for their first game was impressive, but I remember watching that game, and Bruges easily could have also had 3. So, I don't know. That was a very deceptive final scoreline.
They lost to Lucas Vasquez, so no respect.
Yeah, Dortmund got shit pumped at the Bernabeu by us 2-5. And they scored 2 early, again against Vasquez's side, and then we came on and just laid the hammer on them. They got they hung tough with Barcelona in a 3-2. But yeah, I just don't know what to make of this Dortmund team right now. I also don't really know what to make of Sporting. I don't know if Victor Gregores has kind of figured it out with his manager, whether or not he's going to play, because this Sporting team without Victor is just pretty tough to watch. I do think both teams to score over 2.5 is good here. Dortmund can't stop anybody. Sporting, their defense isn't super prime here. I do like Dortmund going forward. So I'll take both teams to score over 2.5, sitting at plus 102 over on Caesars. I think the over 2.5 at minus 135 is okay. Is a standalone price as well, but yep. I do not want to get involved in a side here. I'm just going to go for goals.
Agree. Everything I'm looking at on the screen, I have to agree with you. Two teams that I don't get right either, Sporting especially, but they do have pretty much the guy who's been lighting up Europe the past year and a half. Dortmund, man, even looking at, you mentioned their Champions League form, their Bundesliga form has been worse. They can't beat anybody. They're getting smacked around by good teams. They're getting smacked around by newly promoted sides. They can't stop the ball from going in the back of the net. So even if you wanted to take a Sporting over 1.5 team total at home, it'd be hard for me to talk you out of it, especially if that number goes up.
I'm biting the bullet, and I'm just taking Sporting on the money line. Okay. Dortmund has been abysmal, and I think Sporting is turning it around a little bit here. The new manager, unsteadiness is starting to pass. I'm hoping Sporting plays a little bit more consistent football here. And then other than that, I would love to see goals. Do I necessarily trust anyone to get me them? I have 2 names written down. I looked at Trincão's to score assist number. I like his shot on target number. And then I also wrote down Gittins over on Dortmund. So, you got a nice 1 each. Probably end in a 1-1 draw, and I'll be really upset that I even watched the fucking game. But I don't hate the both teams to score shout. I just don't think there's going to be more than 1-1 and I would love to be proven wrong and this game be really fun to watch. But there's just, when you have the best striker in Europe, one of the most informed ones. Sorry, I just said best striker in Europe to anyone that gets offended. Portuguese Twitter has already been after me a few times. And then all of a sudden, a new manager comes in and everything gets fucked. When this dude's putting up hat tricks, bagging, kind of puts a dampener on everything. And we're looking at Dortmund; it's going to be in the exact same situation. So I don't know who's going to be the one to finally prove it. And the Champions League is a great time to do it. But I lean Sporting, and in Trincão we trust.
Didn't they just fire a manager too, Dortmund?
Yes.
Yes,
right?
They did.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, could have mentioned that, I guess. No, I'm with you, dude. Trincão's been good, right? And he's been good even when Gyökeres hasn't played or hasn't really picked it up. So I'm with you there. I'm looking at this lineup, and I don't know how truthful it is. Emre Can is going to be playing center back.
Yeah, maybe.
He has been recently. So
okay, well, he's plus 200 to get a card, so you could sign me the fuck up for that one.
Yep, I also have Emre Can to be booked at plus 245.
Even better.
As we're talking about bookings, I do have to mention, check out BetUS. I can't bet bookings here in Michigan. BetUS is my partner for my international book, my offshore that I use. So check it out. Down below, 125% deposit match if you need a book. BetUS. Those are who I bet cards with. And I am looking at Emre Can as well as Sabitzer and Schlotterbeck are both good targets for cards as well. Sabitzer sitting at plus 350, and Schlotterbeck, who took a red 2 games ago at home for Dortmund, plus 360. Both of those guys, big as fuck. Both targets on set pieces as far as Schlotterbeck and Sean. And, obviously they're center backs who are going to be dealing with a lot with Trincao and Gregores. And I even like Morita here over on Sporting, another Japanese international. So that's definitely what I'm looking at as far as bookings go.
I'm sorry. Just while you're on that, Oaks, over 3.5, like for the game, seems really, really low. It's not the best number. It's minus 140, but
that is a really low number, though. But I come from La Liga where the lines are 6.5. So
yeah,
we got a Norwegian ref that I don't know much about.
I take it back.
But it is in Portugal. So we know in Portugal, the physical battle will always be happening. I could definitely get behind that over 3.5 number for the entire game. I could even see it being bumped up to 4.5 as well for a plus money number. That said, one thing I got to mention with Dortmund is Julian Brandt's going to take pretty much every corner for them. So Brandt assist at plus 410 over on FanDuel is a very nice number. He did have a goal over the weekend that Gross assisted. But yeah, Brandt is primarily going to be your set piece taker here. I think Gerasi playing striker at plus 215 for an anytime goal over on DK is pretty disrespectful. And guys whose numbers I'm always going to take when they're plus signs and they start for Dortmund, as long as these two guys start, Adeyemi for a shot on target at plus 120 on FanDuel is disrespectful. And Bino Gittins, who I laid juice on, I paid minus 125 or minus 130 for his shot on target this weekend. I think he got it within like 9 minutes for me. Bino Gittins is plus 133 over on Bet Rivers for a shot on target. So I like that.
Yeah, listen, hopefully everybody's watching all of these videos, but catch this little tidbit. The numbers on these guys are higher, right? They're expecting less scoring. It's 2 legs. Defenses should be shored up. Everybody is going to want to limit any exposure going into leg 2. If you're giving me guys that routinely score and that are routinely sitting at plus 125, plus 130, plus 150 to get a goal, now all of a sudden they're plus 220, plus 230. Yeah, proceed with a little bit of caution. But to me, that extra $1.50, I'm going to take it. Like it's there for us. You have to kind of take advantage. So I'm with you. Some of these shot props you're giving out, like you're not going to get these numbers week in and week out. So you kind of have to take a little bit of a stab.
Leg, you got anything?
I'm so smart. I shut him up.
I like Ryerson for booking, and he just seems like a little hack every time I watch him play. That's mostly just what my eyeballs tell me. But nah, I think I'll find a lot of good, just random shot numbers and headed shots based off of these. Like, if I see Emre Can shot attempt at a plus sign, I'm going to go crazy. So.
Oh, for sure. Same with Schlotterbeck, too.
Yeah.
Like, both of those guys are massive targets on set pieces. I also like Sabitzer to shoot from the midfield. Depends on where Gross is. He's been hot and cold with his shooting, depending on what position he's playing. He's played right back for Ryerson a couple of times, but Sabitzer is a guy who I always kind of target. I like his 2 shots anytime it's a plus number. He does let him rip there from the midfield. But yeah, other than that, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll keep it moving.
Well, part of me wants Adeyemi to do really shitty so he leaves his team and goes to Newcastle instead.
I don't know why that fucking Napoli deal fell through. It seems like he'd be a really nice replacement for Special K, especially with all the money they just got off that.
I think that's why I think they inflated the price a little too much.
Yeah.
That could be. I don't know. Dortmund usually does pretty good business, so I don't know. It's interesting, but they clearly like Adeyemi enough to keep him around, even if they were asking too much money for him. But anyway, Adeyemi's a guy I've liked since he came over from RB Salzburg. So I want to see him start. I want to see him play as much of the 90 as possible. So Yeah, that's it, guys. Once again, if you do need a international sports book, check out the sign up promo code down below. 125% deposit match through BetUS. Link right down here in the description, as well as the YouTube socials, everything like that. So check it out, and we will be back shortly. We outside!